Now the portion of the plateau we're on right now is actually slightly higher than the rest of it, and it's also tilted down towards the west. And that tilt is actually very important. It's one of the main ingredients we need for the next D of the dude principle, the down cut, which is where the Colorado River finally comes in. So right around 6 million years ago, up in the Colorado Rocky Mountains, there were several glaciers, and they were all starting to melt. And all that water was making its way down through here, and it was carrying a lot of rocks and sediment along with it. You know, basically turning the river into liquid sandpaper. So all that rock and sediment, along with the steep tilts of this part of the plateau, those two things allowed the Colorado to carve through all these different layers of rock, almost like a knife through butter. You know, given the amount of time and the amount of water, because you look all over the world, you see rivers like the Amazon, the Nile, the Mississippi. You know, they've all been around for a really long time. They all have a lot more water than the Colorado, and they're all much bigger and longer than the Colorado River, but they're all flat. You know, they've never been able to do anything quite like this. So it's those two main things that you need. However, right now, the Colorado River on average is about 100 meters wide. Mm-hmm. Now, when it first came through here 6 million years ago, it was about 100 meters wide. So it actually hasn't changed its width the entire time it's been out here for 6 million years. So you got to wonder, how do we get all the rest of this out here? Yeah. I mean, you know, 16 kilometers wide, there's something else has to be working here. And that's where the E of the dude principle comes in, erosion.
Erosion.
Yep. So basically what happened, you know, the simplistic version was, as the Colorado kept carving through the rocks, you know, the canyon walls kept getting higher, and the kinds of erosion that we have here caused the walls to get weak, cause them to crumble, they'd fall into the bottom and get swept away by the river. So there's several different kinds of erosion that happen here at the Grand Canyon. We have lots of rainfall, believe it or not. We get flash floods, in fact, if there's enough rain. We get lots of wind. During the winter, we get snow and ice that play a part in the erosion process. There's actually over 500 ancient volcanoes here at the Grand Canyon, most of which are extinct now, thankfully. A lot of these little side canyons you see kind of poking down into the very center, a lot of them are actually fault lines that produce earthquakes on sometimes a daily basis. You know, the Grand Canyon is actually the most seismically active region in the whole state. Granted, most of them are like 2s and 3s on the Richter scale. We could be having one right, yeah, you probably wouldn't even know. Yeah. And in fact, both the downcut and erosion processes are still going on to this day.